When the lawyer read the will, I didn't flinch. $103 million. My uncle's entire estate left to me. The rest of my family sat there, mouths half open, pretending to process grief, while their minds calculated their imagined shares. They didn't know I'd been the only one visiting him in those final months. They didn't know he had seen through every call, every fake smile, every polite check-in. But I did. And now, so would they. I hadn't told a soul about the inheritance. Not my mother, not my brother, not the cousins who had once labeled me the disappointment. I wanted to watch them without the filter of money. I wanted to see who they really were when I was broke. So, I disappeared from their world. 2 weeks later, I called my mother. My voice shaky, deliberate. Mom, I lost my job. Rent's overdue. I just need a place to stay a few days. She sighed like I'd become an inconvenience. Oh, sweetheart, you know I'd help. But your stepfather's having surgery. It's not a good time. Her tone was smooth, rehearsed. I could almost hear her rearranging brunch plans mid-sentence. I hung up before she could pretend to care. Then I called my brother. He laughed. $100, bro. I can't even help myself right now. Maybe try getting a job that lasts this time. Click. 2 voices that had once promised to always be there, now gone. An hour later, my phone buzzed. Hey, it's Clara. Heard you're going through something. I can drive up if you need help. Clara, my distant cousin. We'd spoken maybe twice in 10 years. I tried to talk her out of it, but 3 hours later she was at my door, paper bag of groceries in hand, hair wet from the rain. Don't worry, she said softly. I brought enough for a week. That was the moment I understood who she really was and who the rest of them weren't. The plan started that night. I didn't want revenge as spectacle or noise. I wanted silence, precision, justice without an audience. For 3 months, I played broke. Borrowed small amounts, 50 here, 20 there. I recorded every word, every eye roll, every excuse. My brother posted photos of his new investments, bragging about how family doesn't owe you anything. My mother told neighbors I'd never been good with money. Meanwhile, I met with the attorney again. I transferred 90% of the estate into a private trust. The remaining 10% I split, disguised through shell accounts and anonymous donations. I drafted letters, personalized, sealed, waiting. 6 months later, I invited everyone to the old estate. They arrived quickly, dressed like mourners, but smiling like hunters. Mother in black, brother radiating greed. Clara stood quietly by the window, uncertain why she'd been called. I began simply. I want to talk about my uncle's estate. Mother's face lit up. Brother leaned forward. So, how much did he leave? I studied them. Everything. Their pupils dilated, hands twitched. I let silence linger before adding. But I gave it all away. Confusion, anger, then panic. What do you mean, gave it away? My mother demanded. I donated most of it to people who actually showed kindness when they had nothing to gain. I looked at Clara. She didn't know what I had. She had just shown up. Her eyes widened. Wait, what? I handed her an envelope. Inside, the deed to a house, a letter of appreciation, access to a trust fund. Her hands shook. I don't understand, she whispered. You don't have to, I said. You just reminded me that decency still exists. My brother exploded. You're insane. That money was supposed to be ours. His face contorted with rage. When I asked for $50, you told me to get a job. He lunged for the envelope. Clara stepped back. Mother's voice cracked. You can't just throw away family like this. I met her eyes. You did that first. That night, when I left the estate, their shouting echoed behind me. By morning, my brother's business partners had discovered the fake investments he'd bragged about online, thanks to an anonymous email containing screenshots he'd drunkenly sent me years ago. My mother's charity committee learned of her misuse of donor funds. Again, evidence I'd quietly gathered. None of it illegal, just overdue. Clara, meanwhile, used the money to start a shelter for women. Months later, she sent me a photo, her standing beside a sign that read The Haven. I don't regret a single moment. People think revenge must be loud, explosive. Real revenge is quiet. It's a mirror, showing people exactly who they are, without distortion or excuses. My family saw money as proof of worth. I saw it as a weapon of truth. In the end, they destroyed themselves. I merely handed them the mirror.